Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Wardy's Waffle. You can see we've got some blue sky here, a lot of sun there. It is cold, there's a bit of a cool breeze, but at least it's not raining. Just before we carry on, I just wanted to thank everybody in Ireland who made us so welcome. I've just had 4 days there with Omex Fertilisers travelling around Southern Ireland. So we're on a motorway and overtaking a tractor with a load of signage on. So whether there's different rules in Ireland here to what we have in England on motorways, I'm not sure. And one between Dublin and Belfast, just look at this hedge. Again, I know you saw in the clip I posted on Thursday night about it, but this is just fantastic. How on earth do they cut that like that with the traffic and everything they've got? So this is a toll on the M1. Whereabouts are we, Ed?
Drogheda.
Which is?
Drogheda, yeah. Well, we're in County Meath.
Right, thank you. Just coming over this stunning bridge over the River Boyne. There we go, down there. Just talking to farmer groups about the benefits of liquid fertiliser and our experiences with it and how we here are transitioned from solid fertiliser to liquid fertiliser. Through here because there's no crop competition. So when you look at this here, the applied rate needs to vary by 15% to become visual, and that's not a huge, huge percentage. And that applies to overdosing as well as underdosing. Obviously, if you're overdosing it, it'll go a lot greener when you're getting a variation in the yield. So thank you for everybody who came up and say hello. Those of you who watch these videos, I saw a lot of you and you made yourselves known to me, which was fantastic. Thank you for that, and great to see you all and catch up with you. And we'll see you again in February when I come back over in February to talk at the BASF conference down in Kilkenny. Anyway, that's another thing to look forward to in Ireland. Thank you also to D-Side Agri Services for making us so welcome and looking after us. Just arrived in Richardstown, or near Richardstown, D-Side Agri, for another presentation to some farmers about Omex liquid fertilisers. And there are some storage tanks. And we've got some really good footage from their yard. That's a long pusher blade. I've also got some footage of a boat being loaded on some of their oats, so I've got that will have to be a whole waffle on its own at the docks, and I went up on the boat as well, which was great to be able to do that. And then also we went round Finnegan Farms, who some of you actually watch their YouTube videos as well, and thank you guys there for making us so welcome. So that was great. While we were away, we had a field of sugar beet lifted on the heath, which is just about 2 miles up there. I haven't got any clips of actually the beet harvesting going on this time because Ruben and Tom couldn't get any videos. They were busy doing other things. I've got a little clip of the trailers tipping and things, but I'll put a video up of a lifting beet on the light land last year just to show what we're doing. We've still got some more beet to lift there, so we'll put some videos up of that when we do that. We're going to be working the field and drilling it hopefully in the next few days, so you'll see that in the next update. Yeah, thanks very much everybody, and let's crack on with this update, and we'll see you at the end. Just before we get into harvesting of the sugar beet, I just wanted to show you this field. This is actually a field that was going to be planted with winter wheat, but because of the wet we didn't get it done. These are all volunteers growing. It's growing out the back of the combine. It does need spraying with glyphosate to kill them, and if you look, there are quite a lot of volunteers there. You can see the breeze just blowing it. I hope the wind's not too bad on the microphone. So, but I don't think this is going to be able to be planted winter wheat now. It was spring crops, but it is sitting in really good conditions from the solo. It was soloed and pressed in early September. You can just see there looking at it, it's in good condition, so the water's managing to get through. So I think a lot of our land that was destined to be second wheat and continuous wheats like this, but we'll leave it now for spring crops. It'll get glyphosated off this next week hopefully, and then it will get sprayed off again. And glyphosate, for those non-farmers, is what you might buy in the garden centre and known as Roundup, and then this will be sprayed off with glyphosate ready for the spring, and then we'll plant it with spring barley or spring wheat. We haven't decided yet. where the sugar beet is cleaned and the soil and the tops come out the side. You can see all the debris coming out there, dropping down. That's where it's going up into the tank. So we've got the 30 acres of sugar beet up, which is just the other side of that hedge behind those coaches. And so that's good on the light land, which is, I don't know how many loads there are there. We've got a good heap behind me, I'll show you in a minute. This is the trailers that are bringing it in and tipping it when they started. Tom managed to get a video of this for me, so thank you very much for the start of this. We haven't had any sugar beet out the ground since probably the 25th of September, towards the end of September, and that went in the factory right at the end of September, early October. So I'm not quite sure what the sugars are going to be, but they won't be very special. That's what everybody's still saying. They're struggling to get to 16%, which is the level we need to be for where our sugar beet is sort of based on and paid on, that 16% sugar. Normal years are 17, 18%, but this year they're sort of 16 or even below. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But anyway, I'll just turn the camera around. We'll go and have a look at this beet heap, because there's been a little bit of a mishap at the back of the heap, apparently, according to Ruben. So we'll just go around and have a look at that, then have a look at the field that's been harvested. So here's the heap. Always nice to see the concrete quite dry here. Dogs are scouring the heap. They love the little bits of sugar beet. Straight away you can see them. Sugar beet's not too bad in size. There's a bit of soil stuck to it. I'll try and get out my shadow. But no, that's quite good really when you look at that. Actually, there's not too much soil at all. There's a little bit there, and there always is in there, because all sugar beet have a crease in the root. You can see there's one there, there's a crease there, and that's where the soil gets. But the sort of better varieties that we've been growing now, the crease isn't as deep. A few years ago it used to be really deep, and that used to attract the soil. And that's a decent size root. Don't forget, this sugar beet goes to make silver spoon sugar, and so that's what you want to be looking for in the supermarkets, whereas the Tate and Lyle sugar is made from foreign sugar cane, and it's grown with products that we're not allowed to use here. So this is a better, healthier sugar. So yeah, quite pleased with that really, looking at that. Heap very high. We push up with the forklift and the blade on the front, and this is pushing up another year, so you can just see how we do it. See, Nala there having a right chew of the beet. She loves that. And anyway, we'll go around the heap and have a look. Nala, come on here. Good girl. Frankie, good girls. Come on. So round in this field. Now this is the field that's going to be becoming sugar beet this next year. We use bales. Just got these linseed bales. They picked these up. Ruben did the first day I was in Ireland. We bought these from a farmer near Grantham. And we can stack them up a bit higher. So we've got a good lot of beet here, which is good. So this field's got to be cultivated yet, ready for next year's beet crop, but we won't do that for a while. And then round here, you can see the bales are toppled over. So we've got a bit of work rectifying this to do. You can see there, big heap at the back pushed down. So we've got a bit of clearing up to do. We'll leave this. We might do a few of these round here if we've got time before the lorries come, but this sugar beet won't be leaving the farm for probably 10 days because the haulier and the sugar beet harvesting contractors, the two different farms we use, but they work very closely together. So I think the lorries are about a week behind the harvester at the moment. So we've got all this to clean up and then move these bales. So we've got a bit of work to do here, but this is what happens. And I think possibly it didn't help me because it wasn't locked together in that far corner. I don't know, or it might have just been pushed too hard. Not too sure anyway. It's one of those things. You can just see the line down there. So we'll sort that out another time. So the field is just through here that we've just lifted. And so we can't bring the trailers through here because we've got obviously the ends, the bales was up there before it collapsed. So the trailers have to come out here and make a mess of this grass, unfortunately. But one of those things, we shall rectify this, move it with the forklift bucket. There's a big track down here, you can see it's pushed it out, and then round the back there, and then we'll borrow a neighbour's power harrow. You'll see a machine, we'll show you when we do that, to level it out. So this grass won't fully recover now here until the summer, which a bit of a shame. I always like to keep this grass nice at the back of the yard here, but one of those things, every 4 years when we have this field sugar beet, this is what happens. So it's not too bad walking in here. Of course, you always have to come out a gateway and in a narrow spot. So just looking now in the field, no, this isn't bad. I'm pleased with how this looks. Not rutted bad at all. Little bit there, and that one you can just see ruts there. Of course, when you start to harvest a field, you'll start here and work your way across. So all the sugar beet from that side has to come down the edge of this field here towards here and into the yard. But I do try and keep the trailers and let the trailers run the full width rather than run in one spot. Looks like here they've run in one spot quite a bit, which it means the rut's deeper. Whereas if they spread it, you see here they've hardly run here at all. If they spread it and run this side as well going to the yard, then the whole area doesn't get rutted. And that's just a bit deeper than what I'd have liked. Yeah, if you look here, you see this end, there's no ruts here either. So they could have run a bit more here and a bit more there, and it does save the middle of that. But we'll have to maybe solo that twice just there to level it with when we come to do it in a day or two. But these are the sugar beet tops, which is good. There's a good lot of fertiliser in those, so we'll just work those in the soil and that'll rot down and just help this keep the soil in good condition. And you can just see, looking here, the soil is really lovely, light soil here when you look at this. So this is great compared to the field that you just saw a few minutes ago at the start of this clip. So this will solo well and then hopefully get it drilled in the next day or two. So that's it, 32 acre field. Just going back to this outside of the field, I know it's maybe always difficult sometimes for the drivers, especially when they don't work for us. You know, they're obviously working for the contractors, but you get to some farms and they'll say, won't you stick in one track? I don't want you to make a mess of any other headlands. So they maybe don't know or forgotten that this is what we do, like to spread the weight across the headlands. So all the different farmers beat the live for, everybody's different and everybody has a different preferences. No, I'm just carrying a lunch and supper and breakfast by the look of it, looking at the size of that sugar beet. Nala? All right. So this is the route the trailer has to come around the back of this shed. You've seen me in here with the fans and showing you how we cool the grain and stuff. So we have to go around the back of the yard here between these trees and this building. And then round the corner, this side, that gravel. That's come from roads when they've been tarring and chipping roads nearby, and the sweepers had some sweepings. We've managed to get that, so that's good for farm roads, and we've put it in some of the drains to the house. And round here, and then tip it in the heap here. I'm still up on the light land where we've just lifted the sugar beet. Just going to show you now a field that isn't looking too bad, and these were oats this last year, and we got this wheat planted very early October, and just going to look at this. It's not too bad. There's one little areas that's not good, but generally it's the best field of wheat I think we've got on the farm at the moment by a mile. So when you look down there, that's all right down that headland. There's a little bit of an area in this corner here, you can see, not brilliant. And we've got some squiggles there. We need to get this GPS sorted and the mapping of the outside of these fields, because that's not good enough when it's like that. So we need to just get this sorted. Whether we're going to do it with a gator to remap them or what, I don't know. But you can see all the way along there, it's just needs redoing. One or two areas here looking a bit not quite so healthy. Just see there, that's wheeling. It might also be a bit of damage from the pre-emergent sprayers that we put on. Bit of overlap, because you've got a headland tramline there, you can see. And then just to the left of my shadow, there's a headland, there's another tram line there. So you'll have a bit of overlap with the sprayer, even though the sections do switch off. But another patch there. But generally, when you look across the field, it's a 55 acre field here. Generally, this isn't looking too bad. When you look across there. Yeah, best field of wheat we've got. Just looking at the soil, again, you can see really easy working soil. Oops, sorry, the camera's a bit close. There we go. Easy working soil. very wet underneath still, and the plants look like they're struggling a little bit because we've had so much rain. But you just see by the stone as well. No drains up here or dikes. It's free draining soil. That's why we can harvest sugar beet throughout the winter up this on this farm. So that's it for another Sunday's edition of Wardy's Waffle. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And I just want to apologise for it being a bit shorter than normal. That's because I was in Ireland a lot of this week. And the Irish clips I've got a lot of footage done from Ireland. And as you've seen in the intro to this clip, I'm going to actually feature those as waffles on their own. So that's Finnegan's Farm, loading a boat on the docks with oats, and also Deeside Agricultural Services. All those are going to be waffles on their own because they're too long to put in with this. Anyway, that's it until midweek. Thanks very much for watching, and thank you again for your hospitality in Ireland, everybody who looked after us there. It was fantastic, really enjoyed it. Anyway, that's it for this week, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Oh yes, one last thing. Exciting week ahead, because on Tuesday our beans, remember the Capulet beans that we grew, the specialist variety, to turn into baked beans, they're actually going to Prince's to be put into tins. So great, really looking forward to that, and we'll have some footage of that next week. Anyway, that is it from me from now. We'll see you midweek.